So a couple weeks ago, I was perusing Instagram one night and I saw this video come through and it looked very familiar to me. And it was of Archuletta, a former NFL player that had a completely different training style and was trying to break into the league, was going through his combine prep when he was going to be drafted for the NFL draft. And he ended up having a very, very different training style. I was so interested by that. I was like, this is exactly how I want to be training. And not just myself, but how I want to train other people. It was so different. It was so unique. And that was the video that caused me to want to become a strength and conditioning coach. The things that were in his workouts it was fast twitch muscle fibers. It was thinking outside of the box of just like, it was different kinds of training. It's not like your standard eccentric and concentric parts of movements. There's a lot of plyometrics and explosive type movements. And then also stuff that we saw Tom Brady doing with his trainer back when he was still playing. The stimulus and the load that is put on the athlete is very, very different. If you watch like the quarterback series on Netflix, Patrick Mahomes has some of those things that were in there. And it's so unique. It's so interesting to me. And that was the stuff that I began to nerd out on. And then what ended up happening is just from watching that one video on ESPN back in 2000, I applied some of those things to my own training. And it took my bench from like 185 to 225 when I was in college, which I was only 140 pounds at the time, so that was a big deal. I was like, oh, I want to be able to bench 225. And then when I saw what they were doing with him, where he was throwing the bar out of his hands, or he was catching the bar and then throwing it back up on a Smith machine. It was very, very different. It was so cool. That stuff is what led me into the strength and conditioning world, and then which allowed for me to then study under Bob Vezzo at Western Michigan University and be a strength and conditioning coach there from 2002 to 2004.